I have been using this $100 mouse for over 3 years now, and I just got these budget options, which is only $20. I actually got it as a deal 50% off, so it was only $10, which is crazy. I have edited videos with it. I have used it for browsing, for work, for everything. So in this video, we're going to be comparing them side by side to see if I just wasted $90 for nothing or was it worth it after all. We will find out. So the $100 mouse is the MX Master 3, which is a well-known mouse, especially among professionals. And the budget option is also from Logitech, which is the M240 silent mouse. MX Master 3 is the most expensive mouse Logitech offers, and the M240 is the cheapest one they actually offer. So it's all the way, it's like a spectrum. So I want to see, like, what is the difference? What is the deal here? Like, why I have to spend $100 on this mouse? Or maybe I can just go with this $20 options and save the rest of the money for something else. So of course, Logitech didn't make it very easy with these names. It can get a little confusing. So the MX Master 3 and the MX Master 3S, I'm going to be referring to them as the $100 mouse. And with the M240 silent, I'm going to be referring to it as a $20 mouse. Hopefully this comparison will help you decide which one will work for you, which one fits your budget, and also which one fits your needs. Oh, by the way, my name is Ahmed. I'm a neurology resident. I'm practicing here in Brooklyn, New York. I'm gonna be a board certified neurologist next year. On my free time, I like to talk tech, dive into the rabbit hole. So if you are new here, subscribe down below and let's get into it. As usual, I'm gonna break this video into 5 main sections. We're gonna talk about the build quality and the design, the battery life, we're gonna talk about the connectivity, and we're gonna talk about customizations, and finally the conclusion, where we will decide if the price difference between these two is justifiable or not. Starting with the build quality and the design. Right out of the box, the size difference is immediately noticeable. Of course, the $20 mouse is smaller, which can be either a pro or a con depending on your hand size. For someone like me who have a larger hand, it is not the most comfortable mouse. On the other hand, the $100 mouse is a bigger one. Just holding it like this, just feel like it's hugging your hand. It's just so comfortable. Also, I prefer a palm grip, so meaning that my hand is resting on the mouse. So with this palm grip, I'm maintaining my wrist in one neutral position. So I'm not bending it like this or bending it like this. And it is honestly not just the size, like just the shape of the mouse, like the ergonomics of the mouse is just better. Your hand is a little tilted, a little bit supinated, which is more comfortable position. And you have a place to rest your thumb, which is crazy. And this position is just more comfortable overall. Yes, of course, it is larger, so theoretically it is less portable, but hey, like, it is not a big difference. You are not gonna be carrying this in your pocket or anything like that. Most of the time, if I wanna take my laptop and go work outside, most of the time I have my backpack, so size difference doesn't really make a big difference for me. Also, the $20 mouse is made of glossy plastic and feel a little cheap, but is not bad after all. Just looking at the build quality, I would have guessed it's probably like around $30 if I didn't know the price. I think it might hold well over the years, but unfortunately I haven't used it enough to see how it holds up. It also comes with different color options, with more colorful options like pink, etc., which is kind of fun. On the other hand, the $100 mouse feels definitely more solid. It has a premium matte coating comparing to the glossy plastic on the $20 mouse. I have the matte black one and it is held really well over the years. The white version, however, gets dirty really quickly, so I would probably avoid it. But now they add the gray one, which I think honestly might be a good option as well. The buttons on these two devices both are clicky and nice. The older $100 mouse, the MX Master 3, is a little loud, but the new one, the MX Master 3S, which I think S stands for silent, I guess, is more silent. The $20, as the name implied, the M240 silent, it is kind of silent. The mouse being silent might not really make a difference for you, especially if you live by yourself, if you have an office by yourself. For me, I have been using the MX Master 3, the loud one. I don't really mind it, like myself when I'm working, I don't really mind it. And even I feel like it can be even fun to hear the clicks. So I don't really mind it, but there's some certain situations that you may need your mouse to be silent. The $20 mouse is symmetrical, so you are able to use it with your right hand, with your left hand, it doesn't really matter. But the $100 mouse, you are only able to use it with your right hand. You are not really able to use it with your left hand, and they don't have an options that is designed for people who use their left hand. I'm assuming that they didn't do like a left hand options because it will not generate enough sales, I'm assuming. Hopefully this is something we're gonna see in the future. Just something to keep in mind if you are left-handed. Moving on to the battery life. The $100 mouse have an internal rechargeable battery which is around 500 milliamperes. The battery is not removable, so you are not able to remove it by yourself. But honestly, I don't think that is an issue because I have been using this mouse for over 3 years now and I haven't noticed any decline in battery. Like I don't even remember the last time I charged this mouse. Like it's just stay forever. After I charge it, probably like stay for like 3 months or something like that. It is kind of wild. Logitech claims that the battery lasts up to 70 days, which is kind of accurate. It is really good. The battery charges via USB-C, which is like kind of convenient, and the USB cable is included in the box. The charging port is located in the front. You can plug it in the charger and use it at the same time. You don't really need to do that because with only 1 minute of charging, you are able to use it for 3 hours. That is insane. Like let's say you came to your desk, it is not charged, just plug it for 1 minute and it gives you 3 hours of use. Insane. You can charge it for a few minutes, use it, and then after you're done with work, you go to sleep or something, you can just plug it and it's fully charged. It also have an auto sleep feature. If you are not using it, it go into sleep and that helps with saving the battery. But whenever you come back, you're able to shake it and it immediately wakes up in a few seconds. There is also a charging indicator on the side and you can also check the battery percentage on the app as well. On the other hand, the $20 mouse runs on AAA battery, which is a single AA battery, which is also included in the box, which is nice. But of course, there is no charging indicator on the $20 mouse because it doesn't have a rechargeable battery. Logitech claims that the battery can last up to 18 months. 8 months. Like this is a 1.5 years. I have been using this for 2 months and the battery is still 100%. Crazy. Regarding the battery life and charging, I think it just depending on your personal preference. As someone like me who is a tech savvy, I really enjoy something that I can charge by myself. Like AA battery, of course, like it's gonna last for like 1.5 years, but at the end you will have to change it, so it is something that you have to think about. But charging, I really don't have to think about it. Like even if it is dead and it's never been dead, I can just plug it for 1 minute, 3 hours of use, which is like really good. Personally, I would take the USB-C with the rechargeable battery, but also I would understand why you would go with the one with the AA battery, especially if it is cheaper. Moving on to functionality and connectivity. There is something actually I didn't even realize until I start making this video. The sensors on both these devices are actually different. The $20 mouse uses an optical sensor which uses LED lights. So it doesn't really work on all services, so you might need to get a mouse pad. On the other hand, the $100 mouse uses what we call a laser sensor, which basically works on all services including glass. I personally just use it with my desk pad, but I have tried on different services, including directly using it on my desk, coffee shops, tables, etc. And it works great. And the difference between the sensor is not just about like the surfaces it can work on. It also affects the precision of the mouse. So of course, the laser sensor is more accurate, is more precise. If you want to track something, if you want to use the pin tool or whatever, it can be very helpful. Regarding connectivity, both these devices are connected with Bluetooth. The only connections in both of them is Bluetooth. The $20 options doesn't have any USB-C, doesn't have any port actually. So the only connection you can use is the Bluetooth connection. The $100 mouse, it has a USB-C, but the USB-C is only used for charging. It does not connect. It does not connect. It is only Bluetooth connection. Most people have Bluetooth, but if you don't have a Bluetooth, you will need to have the dongle, the thing that comes with the mouse to connect it with. So the only connections we have is the Bluetooth connection. And don't get me wrong, the Bluetooth connection, I'm really happy with the Bluetooth connection on both of them. I'm gonna come and explain the differences between them, but overall I'm very, very happy with the connectivity with Bluetooth. Both of them have an on and off switch located at the bottom as well. The $100 mouse can connect to up to 3 devices at the same time, and switching between them is as easy as pressing a button. So you can connect it to different computers like a phone, laptop, etc. Literally any device, including devices from someone else. So theoretically you can share this mouse with someone else if you would like to. I don't think there's anyone who gonna do that, but I just wanna explain to you how capable these profiles are. You can do whatever you want with these profiles. They also have a feature called the Logitech Flow, where you can easily switch between devices as if they are just a dual screen setup. You just have to drag the mouse to the other device without the need to even click the button. I didn't really try this feature myself. I have watched some video, they say it is not really great feature, so I didn't even bother trying it. But I guess it is a cool feature to have. On the other hand, the $20 mouse is limited to only one device. If you want to use it with another device, you have to disconnect it from the first one. So it is not as easy to switch between devices compared to the $100 options. But for one device, after you connect it, it works really fine. I didn't have any issues with connectivity. Both the $100 mouse and the $20 mouse, they support both Windows, Mac, and I think Linux as well, so you can use it with any device. Of course, both of these options are not gaming mouse. They don't have a wired connection. There's probably some latency to do gaming with them, so they are not really built for gamers. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not gonna go in detail into that. The $100 mouse, if you looked at on the website, it has a Mac options and a Windows options. It doesn't really matter which one you really get. It is all about what you get in the box. Mine is actually a Windows version, but it really works fine with my MacBook here, so it doesn't really make a difference. The mouse itself is the same. The difference is really what you get in the box. I'm gonna link a video down below explaining this in more details. The Windows version of the $100 mouse, it comes with the USB-A dongle, which is included in the box with the Windows version, but with the Mac version, they don't include it. It makes sense because all Mac computers have Bluetooth, but something to keep in mind if you don't have Bluetooth. Moving on to customization. The first thing you should do after getting either of these devices is to download the Logitech Option Plus app. It is really good app, trust me, it is really good, very simple and easy to use. The Logitech app offers a lot of customization, especially for the $100 mouse. Yes, the $20 mouse, yes, there is customization. Yes, you can customize the buttons to different apps and stuff, but you only have like the usual buttons, the usual 2 buttons and the one in the middle. So there is not a lot of customization you can do. You can go in the app and look around and see if there is any useful customization you can do, but it is really very limited. But comparing it to the $100 mouse, this is where the $100 mouse shine. So just like any other mouse, it has a left click, right click, middle click. So on top of the usual buttons, it have four other buttons. It has a forward button, which is self-explanatory, which is used to click forward. There's a backward button which is used to click backwards. It also has a button that is just under the thumb. They call it the gesture button or the Windows navigation button, which is really uncomfortable to click. So I barely use it really. The logic behind it is that you are able to hold and then have some gestures after forward or to the side. You can customize that to do certain actions. But honestly, I don't really use it because it's really just uncomfortable to use and difficult to press. I think Logitech made it this way to avoid accidental clicks, but that also makes it uncomfortable to use. So it doesn't really exist for me. But at least I'm able to rest my thumb on here to kind of distribute the weight along my hand to prevent like pressure on certain part of my hand, which is nice. But in terms of the button, I don't really use it. Last but not least, they have the scroll wheel button, which used to switch between the scroll wheel mode, which I'm gonna explain now. So the scroll wheel, they have two scroll wheels. There is the one that the usual scroll wheels you see in every mouse, the one here at the top, and then they have the side scroll wheel, which is located on the side, as the name implies. So the side scroll wheel is meant to be used for horizontal scrolling, and the one at the top is used for vertical scrolling. Regarding the vertical scroll wheel, I know you're thinking, oh, it's just usual. No, it is not as boring as the $20 options. It is even more fun. It actually have two modes. There is the normal mode you can see in any mouse, like you scroll line by line slowly. But there is a hyper scroll option, which is helps you are able to scroll all the way, like very fast. In Logitech website, they say 1,000 lines in one click, which is crazy. So if you scroll very fast, it can like switch automatically and it can scroll all the way down. So it scroll all the way to the bottom, which is helpful. It can be helpful for like scrolling in large document, like you want to go to the bottom, or you want to scroll in like a web page. For me, I use it to scroll all the way through MRI images. If I want to take a quick look for a scan, I use it for that as well. So it is fun to have a feature like this. You can also customize this experience, like how fast you want it to switch. You can also switch between the modes here with this button in the middle, which you can also customize. If you want to do something else with it, you can also customize this button as well. The cool thing about all this button is that you are able to customize it, but not only you are able to customize it like overall, but you are also able to customize it for certain apps. So for example, let's say I use Photoshop every day. I want to customize like a certain button, like this side buttons to do something in Photoshop. I can do that. For me personally, I use Adobe Premiere Pro a lot. So what I did is that the horizontal scroll wheel, I use it to scroll on the timeline. I don't use that very often, but the one I use the most is the forward button. I use it to trim a clip, so it cuts the clip. The other one I like to use is the backward button, which I use it for undo an action, which saves me a lot of time. I tried to use the thumb button here, but it's just, as I mentioned earlier, it is not very comfortable to click. Like the trim clip options is really like saved me hours and hours of editing instead of me trying to use like a shortcut on the keyboard or trying to like, click manually. It's overall like, especially if you are a professional editor, like if you are able to customize something like this, like something that takes 3 seconds and you're able to do it in 1 second, if you did it like 100 times a day, like that gonna save you like few minutes every day, hours over the weeks. So it is really helpful and just makes editing even more fun for me, which is kind of nice. Outside of Premiere, I use the horizontal scroll wheel to kind of increase the volume or lower the volume of the music or whatever I'm listening to, which is also nice. There is a bunch of customization options on the Logitech app, so feel free to like explore and look by yourself. But I kind of like give a highlight about what to expect using the Logitech Options Plus app. The last thing I wanted to address is the difference between the MX Master 3, which was released in 2019, and the MX Master S, which was released in 2022. So they are 3 years apart. But really, there's not a big difference between them. The main difference is that the fact that the older one, the MX Master, it is more clicky, so it is more loud. But the MX Master S, like S I think stands for silent, they say it's like 90% more silent. It doesn't really make a big difference for me, but just wanted to point this out there in case you're deciding between the two. The other features you probably will not notice in day-to-day use, but the MX Master S, the newer one, is more precise than the older one, which is good. In conclusion, this is not as easy as I expected actually. I was expecting, I was like, oh, $100 mouse, it is definitely gonna win. It is just more expensive, more capable mouse, easy, right? But the more I used the $20 options, I was like, this might not be actually a bad option. Like it is a budget options if you looking to spend like $20 on just a mouse, and you don't want to spend like the extra $100, that might be a good option, especially if you have a smaller hand, if you don't need like a lot of customizations, it might not be a bad option actually. But the $100 options, I think for professionals, for someone who edit videos, like use Photoshop, I think it is totally worth it. Also, if you have like wrist pain from your like smaller mouse or like your regular mouse, maybe consider the $100 mouse. It just has better ergonomics, so it might be less painful for you. Also, this is of course not a medical advice, but maybe try it and see how you feel about it. So this is the end of the video. If you are new around here, subscribe down below. We just hit 100 subscribers, so thank you guys for that. And the next goal is 1,000 subscribers, so subscribe down below. And I might be reviewing next is the HomePod Mini, which is I'm working the video I'm working on next. So subscribe down below not to miss that. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Bye.